Alright guys, it's me again. I'm going to show you how to make a two-hook flapper. Two-hook flapper rig. I caught a huss on this the other day on the pier actually. A bit, not a massive huss, but it was pretty big. I had 4 in total on the pier. I had 3 on the pulley panel on Mackie and squid wrap on the pulley rig that I make. That's on my videos if you want to see and watch and like them. And please comment as well. Thanks guys. Right, yeah, so I'm going to show you how to make the two-hook flapper rig. It's my version of the two-hook flapper rig. Here it is. I've got one here that I've made. If you can see that, there it is. So this is my two-hook flapper rig that I make. There it is in its entirety. See, and when that, if you can see it, when that hits the water, the hooks will all come off and they'll be flowing. Yeah, so that's my two-hook flapper rig. So that's what I'm going to show you how to make, and I will just show you the components that you need to make it. Right, you're going to need 6 crimps, 6 beads, 2 size 6 swivels, 1 size 2 swivel, 2 bait clips, or you can use the Imp bait clips, it's up to you. I don't, I just use these splashdown ones, and this one is an inline one. You can buy Cascade swivels as well, which has got a bait clip incorporated in the swivel, so you don't have to put more stuff on your line, but this is how I make them. The hook snood's going to be £25 test amnesia, that's fine for me, I like it. And my rig body is going to be Powflex £60 shock leader, which I use and I think is okay. I use it with my rigs, not had a problem. Said I had them huss, I had 4 huss on Friday on the pier, as some of you know if you're on the fishing groups. So anyway, get on with the video. So, rule of thumb, as I normally do, well I haven't started doing, nose, hold it onto your nose, turn, stretch out, stretch your arm out, as you can see. Yeah, the length of your arm, and that's my snood length, my hook length. I always cut it a little bit longer because of the knots. Yeah, so there you go. So there's your rig body for the two-hook flapper. Right, to start off, I'm going to tie the size 2 swivel on, and I use this swivel to connect most of my rigs to the main line because I think it's fine. It's up to £95, so I don't think you're going to catch anything bigger than that off these shores, do you? Unless you're on a boat, and then you're going to use bigger swivels and different gear entirely. So that's the knot. There we go. That your knot. Pull it tight. There you go. That's your swivel on. First swivel on. Just snip the tag end. Like so. Right. Now the first thing you put on is a crimp. So crimp. Slide the crimp on. Slide the bead on. Slide the bead on. And then your size 6 swivel. There's your size 6 swivel, can you see it? That's what I use for my hook snoods, they're fine. Slide that on, then a bead. Another bead, see? And then a crimp. Get the other crimp on. Yeah, there it is. On. So that's the first swivel and beads on. Swivel, see, crimp, bead, swivel, bead, crimp. Now what I do, I'll crimp that now while it's on, stop it moving about. It's just a pain, because the reason being, you don't need to have it loose to put your hook snood on. So crimp it in the middle, that's what I do, give it a good crimp. And remember, look, if it's too tight, the bead, the swivel won't turn, so it'll be stuck. So you just edge it off a couple of millimetres, it'll swing round easy. So you crimp that in the middle. Now I crimp my crimps in the middle. I don't crimp them on the ends because I think they might cut the line. Some people don't. So that's it, that's your first one on. So now you're going to thread the rest on. So now you're going to thread a crimp on, but this crimp is going to be for the bait stop. I'm going to use a crimp and a bead for the bait stop. So that's them on. Yeah, like that. So you've got, at the moment you've got crimp, bead, swivel, bead, crimp, crimp, bead, and then you put this inline bait clip in. Yeah, that's what I use. Pretty simple. They've got a bit of come with a bit of tubing, which is pretty hard to get off. So you put the tubing on the line first, like so, and then this has got a hole through there. So you thread it on that way so that it's downwards. So thread it on, see, through there, another one through there, and there it is. That's on. Pull that up. Put your tubing on, and there is a groove there for the line, so which is good. So you put your tubing on. It's quite thick tubing this for this one. That's it, so that's in place. Yeah, so I've done that, and I'll show you after what I'll do. So now I want another crimp on. Another crimp. Bead. Size 6 swivel for your hook snood. Another bead. Crimp. Crimp. Right, now I'm going to do the same again. I'll put another crimp on. Yeah, I'll show you in a minute. Another crimp and another bead. It's going to be the bait clip stop when it's all done. Now I'm going to put the other bait clip on. This is a different one. This is a splashdown clip. Yeah, and you get a bit of tubing with it. There. So you thread that on. I like these. Some people use the imps, but I like these. Yeah, so you thread that on. Thread your tubing on the line. Put that over. These are a bit looser, these on the lines. They're not as tight, but that's why I've put the bead and the crimp on, because that's going to be a stop to stop it going up the line any more than you want it to when I've done it. So the last component to tie on is the weight clip, as you can see. And remember what I said, guys, that bar is to stop the weight sliding up. That's what it's there for, so it goes on like that. So you put your weight on, and the eye of the weight sits under there. So tie that on. So there you go. Knot. Right, a knot. That's it, all tied on. So I'm going to clip that now. Right, so I'll show you what we've got on this rig at the minute. Right, you've got your size 2 swivel, crimp, bead, bead, crimp, and that's a size 6 swivel. And then you've got a crimp and a bead, and as I said, that's going to be to stop that moving when you've done it all. And then you've got, let's put them all together. There you are. You've got a crimp, bead, swivel, bead, crimp, crimp, bead, and that I just told you is going to be for that one when it's down there. See, right. So now we'll get the hook length. So what I do is I get the line, the rig body, and I fold it in half, so I know that then there is halfway. Yeah, so that's half the distance. So what I do is I move it back up just a little bit, yeah, and then I slide my beads up and my crimps that are going to be the second snood. See, so it's just there, so you know that's near enough half. Yeah, so crimp that up. Do the first one. See, just crimp it, uncrimp, and remember, if it's tight, won't move, just a millimetre or so off. Get it right, crimp that. So, that's your rig there. I'm just going to attach the hook snoods now. So, get the hook snood. Like I said, £25 Amnesia. I'm using red. A minute. So, I haven't cut a length. What I'm going to do is to keep it on the spool while I tie it onto the swivel. So, tie it onto the swivel. Wait, you're not. There you go, so that's tight, so snip that off. The reason I didn't cut it off the spool is because I'm going to measure it now. So there's the bait clip. But remember, I haven't crimped that down yet, so if you tie it, you can tie this one on and then just move it to where you want it, the bait clip. So I'm going to snip that just above the bait clip. There, see? I'm going to snip it there, tie the hook on, and then that should be about right. But you can always move it because I haven't cut it, have I? And the hooks I'm using today are, I forgot to mention, 2 Aberdeen size 2.0 hooks. You can see them. So I've cut that now. So I'm going to tie that on. And if you want, you can put beads on the snood if you want as attractants. It's up to you. I don't bother really. I do sometimes, not very often. So that's all. And just remember what I told you about tightening. Thumb, nail. Thread that through. See, pull it tight. No damage to your thumb. There it is. I remember what I said in my last video, I think it was, about that tag end. I'll leave that now. Because if I put lugworm on that, or a ragworm, that will keep it up instead of it falling back down the hook and all your bait being down here. That will keep it up. Also, if you get a bit of a snag and there is something wrong with it, not say there just is, you've got all that to slide down before it'll come off, and hopefully you get your rig back. So there you go. So that's the first one on. So I'll do now, put that under the bait clip. See, there it is. Pull it. So that's tight now. That's tight. You can have it a bit looser if you want. which is about right there, I'd say. Yeah, and then see, you slide that bead down and that crimp, right? So you crimp that now into place, and that'll stop that. I haven't crimped it too tight because I'll be able to move it if I need to tie another hook snood on. So that's the first one. See, that's perfect, that. That's the first one done. See? I'll tie the second one on now. Same again. I don't cut it from the spool. Leave it on the spool. Wind it off. It's tied on the second swivel now. Remember, the same as this one, look, down, there. See the bit, notice I've got a little gap there from the weight to there, so that's there. So what I'll do with that now, I'll cut that there again, just above the bait clip. So I'll cut that now. I'm going to tie the hook on now. I know it sounds complicated, but it's not. There we go. Again, tight, leave the tag end. So the last thing to do is to get this right. So I'll put that up, put that hook now, that's the second one on there. There it is. So there it is, that's the second snood on. So I'll pull it down just a little bit, about there, and then what I'll do is I'll crimp that up. Just above the bead, see, so I'll crimp it there. Like I said, you don't have to do this, you can get weights with bait clips on, you can get the imps. It's a similar setup anyway on anything you make really, to hook flapper. You don't even have to have bait clips on them if you don't want to. You can just put the hooks on the links, but like I said, save all the, you can buy Cascade swivels. I don't, I've got all the gear anyway, so I use it. And that is the finished product. So you've got your size 2 swivel, crimp, bead, swivel, bead, crimp. And you go down the line, you've got your crimp and bead, your bait clip, and then your crimp, bead, bead, crimp, and then crimp and bead, splash down, and then your bait clip. I hope you've enjoyed this video, lads. I know it's on a phone, so some people have said about the angle, but I'm doing my best. So anyway, so please like and thumbs up to the videos if you watch them, please. And please share my videos if you've got anybody that wants to make rigs or started making rigs. Please like and share. I'd appreciate that, guys. Okay, thanks very much. Like I said, I'm not a professional, but I'm just giving you some tips on how I make rigs, because some of the lads on the YouTube that make rigs, like, you can't see the components properly. So I hope this video is helpful, and that's how to make the 2-hook flapper rig. It's not hard, so give me a bell or PM me if you need any help making a rig. Okay, cheers guys. Ta-ra.